It is International Women's Month, and we are celebrating the achievements of women across all spheres of life. The fashion industry is growing and progressing. Fashion has also become a tool for women empowerment, but challenges abound. Joining me via Skype from Port Harcourt is Doris Gam-Dede, fashion designer and president, Port Harcourt Female Designers Association. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning. Good morning.
Right, let's begin with fashion as a tool for women empowerment. How powerful is this tool called fashion?
Oh, it's very strong from the age-old days. Fashion has provided women the opportunity to work in a safe space by owning their own businesses, and today it's no different. Fashion is, for me, I definitely went to school, graduated, but tilted straight into fashion. And since then, I've never worked for anybody in my life. Rather, I've been able to even provide employment for at least 20 to 25 people. So fashion is the strongest tool. I live and practice business in a state where the government is still finding it hard to grasp that fashion is the new oil. It is what's taking off a lot of youths, and people from the streets and giving them gainful employment. So fashion for me is the strongest tool, not just because of the pandemic. It's been there, we just didn't recognize it. But thank God the pandemic has opened a lot of other doors for people to see that there is strength and there is so much power in using fashion as a tool to at least give people some sort of livelihood.
Now, you talked about the government not realizing that this is the next, perhaps, big thing, if I may use that word. So perhaps there are challenges. You have encountered on this path to trying to ensure that government realizes that this is something that it can explore. Talk to us from that light, the challenges perhaps you have faced in trying to encourage people and make the government see reasons why it should explore the fashion world.
Okay, for me, the government mostly would focus on things like oil and recently sports, but they forget, the creative sector, which I feel is what, revolves around every other thing we as humans do. Fashion should be looked into right from the cradle, from school, from primary schools and secondary schools, as vocational training. They should be introduced because people will now come out knowing what to do or how to harness that, creative genes that's been there. But we don't see that in a lot of schools, or we don't see that being practiced here, especially on the side of the Niger. So for me, I would like the government to start to partner with a lot of creative sector and encourage them, to see that fashion is being celebrated worldwide. When we talk about Italy, London, these are places where they know the strength and the value of fashion, and the government has helped harness that and placed it on a serious platform where people are benefiting, people are making serious money. Until the government begin to sit down and realize that to take people off the streets, to stop, especially violence and joblessness, you need to help people. Like recently in our state, our governor has just produced a football academy, and I am impressed with that, but we would like to see him do more for the fashion industry. Build a creative hub.
Well, we've been speaking with Doris Gam-Dede. She's a fashion designer and president, Port Harcourt Female Designers Association, and she's been talking to us about the power of fashion as a tool for empowering women at a time, especially at a time such as